That's a beautiful song.
Thanks.
It seems that in all walks of your artistic life, whatever the media is, that you're drawn to characters who maybe are a bit on the periphery, characters who are a bit on the fringe of whatever the particular world is. Is that a fair assessment, do you think?
It is, man. I was looking back and I was like, well, this is it. For better, for worse, I am a voice, I think, of the misfit, of the freak, of the disenfranchised, and I connect deeply to what I call primal energies or primary colors, you know, the deepest reds, blacks, blues, purples. So, you know, I can do sunny things, and I do have a very generally joyful disposition. But again, it's these contrasts, you know. And what was so gratifying for me on the record is I'm as vulnerable as I am strong, or I'm as despairing as I am joyful. You know what I mean? So I really can move in extremes, I guess.
What was the first record that you remember really loving? The first piece of music that you obsessed over?
Well, there's different stages, because there was when I was 9 years old, and my dad would take me just to have a little pal when he ran errands, and he would play Steely Dan and Ricky Lee Jones and The Who, but the real synth Who, you know, like Who Are You, the later Who, and so I really loved this music through my dad, and I really got into Ricky Lee Jones. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of hearing. She's an amazing vocalist and songwriter. And then later, there was all these little stages when my dad, because he used to play bongos in the living room. We had a Rhodes piano, and my dad's like a Renaissance man, very musical. He's also a character actor and all these things. And he introduced me to Janis Joplin when I was 14, and I was listening to dance music and early rap at the time. You know, like Run DMC, LL Cool J. It was when it was radical to actually be, it was kind of punk rock to be into early rap. Now it's just this homogenized cesspool of whatever. But, so, that's a little cynical. Woo! But Janis Joplin, she came on the TV, and my dad said, "Do you know who that is?" I said, "No." He said, "That's the first white woman of soul." And from there, just because I looked up to my dad, that started my onslaught of 60s music, and like that. But it goes on and on. I went through my Miles Davis stage, Nina Simone, and then the Pixies, you know, discovered through a boyfriend, and okay.
Your career has intersected with a lot of musicians in real life. You mentioned seeing Janis Joplin on the television, and then as you went on as a musician, everybody from Linda Perry to Motorhead. I think you were actually on stage with Lemmy at one point.
Oh yeah. They asked me to sing backup. How do you turn that down?
What would you say is the most unbelievable or thrilling moment where you kind of had to look around and go, "Am I really? Is this happening?"
There's been so many, and it's wild because it happened in my film journey, but I was so young and preoccupied with early love and other things to go, holy shit, I'm working with Scorsese. You know what I mean? That didn't have weight to me at that time. So now, when you start a second career late in life, I relish every single moment. I really do. And so, let's see. Well, working with Omar was one of these profound experiences because he to me, there's not a lot of them in our generation, but he's a musical genius. He's a radical, groundbreaking, rule-breaking composer, and so for him to sort of shed light on me or to work with me was very validating, and I came away with that experience feeling more like a musician than I ever did before. And then there was early on with my earlier band, standing on the side of the stage watching The Who, and we played the same stage. It was at these, you do all these festivals in Europe, and to go, my musical dream brought me to the side of the stage watching The Who, and I'm here as another band. And so moments like that, you know.
So then if the,
I cried.
If the magical, mystical, musical fairy appeared and granted you the ability to record with any one performer or band, who would it be?
Oh yeah, I get that question. Wait, but I did want to say, wait, the festival. Oh, that we're gonna play Shepherd's Bush in London. This is a really incredible venue. So things like that, you know, because when I first went to London, I played a 100-capacity club. The Shepherd's Bush, I think, is like 2,200, and so that kind of growth when you keep going through somewhere and you grow your audience. It's moments like that that's really encouraging as well. Who would I shoot? I don't even know. Maybe it's producers. Oh wait. Oh, Nick Cave. I really like Nick Cave. I'd want to write some stories with him and see what we could fuse together in that world of theater that he lives in too.
And you mentioned how how impulses sort of occur to you not just as a discrete form of not just in an oral sense and not just in a visual sense, but there's this sort of confluence of those. Do you feel that your music, you will expand it to be more visual in the future and to be available in all different kinds of media? Do you have sort of a master plan?
Yeah, I know. You can only dream it. You know what I mean? What's it, Field of Dreams? You guys remember that movie? My brother lives by that movie. It's like if you dream it, or they will come. No, if you wish it. What does he say? Build it. Thank you. Oh, well, you got to build it. So yeah, I'm on the building plan. But no, eventually I would like to do this sort of heightened aesthetic, kind of rock and roll theater, and in very specific venues that are more, what's the word, opulent? No, more like these old theaters, and really have a bit of a production to it. So all that requires resources and stuff. So right now we just hustle and we're touring, and I'm touring this record. I'm also very excited to write a record with my band now, because this has kind of been a bit of a dream band for me in that it's real eclectic sensibilities coming together to form a really strong groove. And this band is shaping up to be something really interesting. So I'm really, that's when you ask who I want to record with, it's really my band. I want to record our songs that are starting to percolate right now. Yeah.
On the subject of working on the next record and writing the next record, we're going to get to hear a third song in a moment. And as we do that, I'm curious because obviously you pour so much of yourself and collectively and individually into the songs. Did they originate with lyrics or music, or is it some combination of the two?
It's so wonderful because it's an ever-shifting journey. Like Hard Loving Woman, that's a blues song on the record, started with a declaration, a statement. I am a hard-loving woman. And I was driving and I thought of that statement. You know, it's like, it's taking ownership of all that you are, for better or for worse. And I just come out of a broken love relationship, and so that's what that is. And then I got with Chris after touring with the Licks for a couple of years, and we all broke up and disbanded. And that's what's so wonderful about music. It starts as these little dreams, these little twinkling stars. I got with Chris, he showed me a riff, a blues riff, and I just started singing the song. I'm in a whole lot of trouble. I've been here before. I'm a hard-loving woman who needs a hard-loving man. And that was the reality. That was my truth. But it came to be born through a riff. So I feel like notes and chords sometimes unlock these melodies or sentiments or emotions that are sitting there underneath the surface. And so that's how that song was written. And then Ghosts, which you just heard, I wrote on piano. I was renting a house, and there was a little a piano there, and I made friends with it. And I wrote these like 3-note piano songs, and